National Institutes of Health report that about 20% of teenagers will experience depression by the time they reach adulthood. So it's important for us to be aware of what depression looks like in teenagers. It's very important to realize the difference between depression and normal teenage development, or what I might call existential despair. Teenagers are in a stage of life where it's their job to figure out who they are not, and oftentimes they may look sad or depressed or withdrawn, but it's not actually depression. Maybe they've had a bad day, maybe they had a breakup with a boyfriend or girlfriend, or maybe they're struggling in a class. So sadness or irritability, those things can be normal. When working with teenagers, it's important to understand the difference between depression and existential despair. Existential despair is what happens to a teenager because they're a teenager. Maybe they broke up with a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Maybe they're stressed out about a test. Sometimes teenagers can have hormones that cause them to withdraw or be very sad or have changing moods and emotions. This is normal, so we don't want to label those kids as being depressed. They may just be sad. Depression in adolescence is much more insidious and debilitating. It's something that's much more consistent. Teenagers who suffer from depression are highly susceptible to things like substance abuse, suicidal ideas or plans, oppositional defiant behavior, sexual promiscuity. Also, they may be susceptible to serious problems such as cutting or eating disorders. Here are some of the things to look for in a teenager that has depression. The primary symptom in adolescence, the calling card of depression, is what we would call anhedonia. Anhedonia is a lack of pleasure in activities that normally a teenager would be excited about. So when you see a teenager with a flatness in their affect, there's no desire to engage anything like grades or sports or friendships. Usually there's one or two things that a teenager can get up and get excited about, but if you see a teenager who's just down and flat and not engaging, that could be a sign that they're depressed. Extreme fatigue could also be a sign of depression. Are the students falling asleep in class? Do they fall asleep in your meetings? Are they lethargic, and is it consistent? Appetite changes, such as a teenager who experiences a lack of appetite or a real increase in their appetite is an indicator of depression. Again, remember, teenagers have varying appetites since they're growing, so be careful not to jump to conclusions on this one.